Hello, everybody, and welcome to season 2 of Big Beautiful Badasses. I am so excited for this season. This has been my baby. This is, what I do and what I love. And I am joined by some fabulous women today, Queen D and Queen K of Face, Fierce and Curvy Empire. Before we jump into that, though, you guys, I've been doing this for 6 months ish. And I love doing it. But if you like what I'm bringing to you, and if you want to help support this broadcast, all you have to do is go to buymeacoffee.com/, this fat girl life. As all of you know, I live off coffee. That is how I survive. That is what keeps me functioning. And so your support helps give me coffee. Plus, just by being a follower on Buy Me a Coffee, that is where you find the newest information out there. I just did a post the other day about my newest project. You want to go check it out. Buymeacoffee.com/, this fat girl life. So, ladies, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
We're super excited to be here.
Of course. So, before we jump in, why don't you guys tell everybody just a little bit about yourselves?
Sure thing. Well, I'm Queen K, and this is the absolute fabulous Queen D. We are half the team of the Fierce and Curvy Empire. Fierce and Curvy Empire, or FACE, is a full-figure dance company that provides a safe space for women to move their amazing bodies, move their curves without fear of judgment. You're allowed to take up space. We're usually told that we're not to, but you know what? Here in this empire, you can definitely take up as much space as you like. We support each other. We love each other. We have a lot of laughs. We shine each other's crowns. We don't try to knock them down. And we want you to walk into our class and be able to walk out afterwards knowing that you are the queen that you are and that you have this community supporting you.
Yeah, and that you can step into your power, I think is a big part of it as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. Now, what spurred starting this?
So it's actually Queen K's baby. I was recruited last year. She is the founder of FACE, so I'll let her answer this one.
Sure. Basically, it came from a place of not having safe spaces to move your body. So there's so many dance classes out there, and there's so many opportunities in order to move your body in a joyful way that you enjoy, but they're not necessarily built to, as they say, like they're all accepting. No, they're not. Yeah. If I were to say walk into a class where it's all very thin women, even if I'm extremely confident, I'm going to feel uncomfortable because I'm going to feel like I'm taking up space that I'm not allowed to, because I've been told all of my life that we're taking up too much space. And even though absolutely love to dance and this is my happy space, it was taking away from that joy. So that space didn't really exist, and therefore we created one.
Now, I really actually like that you brought up the whole thing of taking up space. As plus size women, we are under scrutiny constantly for the space that we take up.
Mm-hmm.
Is this something, you guys are in Canada, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm in the States. So I know there's a little bit of difference, but do you still see that stigma as much in Canada as we do here in the States?
100%.
Absolutely.
100%. We actually both have very similar backgrounds in auditioning and theater and whatnot, so we both have similar experiences of that. If you go to audition for a role or a dance part, quite often, if you're our size, you get overlooked or you get typecasted, and there's definitely a stigma of not fitting into that cookie cutter mold that people kind of expect of you when you're in that industry specifically. Like especially dance, if you aren't a certain size, I think you're not going to be considered a professional. And I think that's a big stigma that we were kind of like, let's forget that and kind of pave our own path. So that's kind of how we got here. Yeah.
I really love that you actually mentioned that stigma or that typecast, because I think we see that in media all over the place. The fat girl is the funny friend, or the sidekick. We are never the lead.
No, we are leading ladies. We should be leading ladies because we deserve to be. But a lot of the times we are never seen that way, which is such a shame.
So now I'm going to ask a random question.
Please.
Favorite book or movie or TV show where a fat girl is the lead?
Oh my God.
Oh,
I really love Dumpling on Netflix. It's like one of my absolute favorite movies of all time because Dolly Parton, I mean, hello, she's a goddess.
Right?
Drag queens number two, but also
Yes.
the whole message of like, especially because it's about like pageantry and which is another form of performance, that it kind of takes a peek into that world of yeah, you're plus size, you can absolutely conquer. And I absolutely love, I believe her name's Maddie Balelo. She actually ends up coming in like third or second place in the pageant in the movie. She's amazing and she's an absolute plus size queen. And she's one of the like great examples that like your size shouldn't hold you back from becoming who you want to be and following your dreams. I absolutely love that.
I am obsessed with that movie.
Yeah.
It's on my Netflix. I've seen it 4 times.
It's so good.
Just when I'm sitting at home and, I'm having one of those I feel fat days, where you don't feel good about yourself. And we all have them.
Oh yeah.
I don't care how confident you are, you have those days. But when I have those days, I watch that movie.
It's so good. Yeah, it's so good. What about you?
I feel so put on the spot. Well, I'd have to say probably when I was younger, it would be Glee. The Glee TV show, because of the one girl, and I feel horrible because I don't
Mercedes?
remember her. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you, Mercedes. I remember watching it and it's like, she looks like me. This is not normal. And there was definitely some more serious moments in that show where she wasn't typecast as the, like, oh, you're the funny sidekick sort of thing. It's like, no, this is someone that I can actually relate to. When I was much younger, I would have to say there really wasn't anything out there. I mean, the example of plus size back then was like Raven Simone or
Ginger Spice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like Kate Winslet in Titanic, and you're like, excuse me?
He's like, no, that's not it.
Yeah, I love me some Amber Riley.
Oh, she's so good.
She's so amazing.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with what you said about Glee, about how she had so many. I think at the very beginning she was kind of that sidekick. She was shy, she was kind of off to the side. But they started, really putting her into some leading lady situations. She had the romance.
Mhm.
She had a couple romances. And then they showed her going on to a career in music
Yeah.
and succeeding. And yeah, I love that about her. I absolutely love that. I follow her on Instagram and see all of her stuff right now. Love.
Yeah.
Love. So when you started Face, what kind of opposition did you come up against making that safe space for all bodies?
Opposition. Well, the fact of, at least none that we are fully aware of, in Canada, the space didn't really exist.
Yeah.
So we had to start with this idea from scratch. There wasn't a lot of templates. We'd be like, okay, so let's go kind of like this or with this. It's like, no, we knew what we wanted and we had to build it from the ground up. So it wasn't so much having an opposition to it happening. It was more of
there was nothing out there.
There's nothing out there, and we have to make this world on our own, which I think made it even more important for us, because we don't want to
screw it up. We want to make sure that it is like the best it can be, because if we are one of the only resources out there for, curvy bodies who are shy, who want to experience moving their body with joy, then we want to make sure it is as perfect as it can be and an experience that they want to take home and feel empowered by.
Okay, so another question kind of along the same lines. I know, especially, you see it on TV even, if with ballet dancers or whatever, when they go into the studio for lessons or whatever, they have certain leotards that they wear. Do you guys have that, or is that an area where there has been some struggle of finding the stuff that's going to fit women properly? and not make them feel bad about themselves? Because I know that happens a lot with clothing.
For sure.
Oh yes, absolutely. Like I definitely remember when you go into a class or into a show and they're saying that they're all inclusive, and then they bring out the costume that is meant for everyone, and they say it's a one size fits all. It's like
The worst.
no, that is not happening. That's not going to fit. And even
One size fits my thigh.
yeah, pretty much. Supposed to be all comfortable and confident on stage, and then everyone can see you just constantly adjusting and moving. No, that's not it. So there is definitely more clothing coming out.
Yeah.
And there's some fantastic companies that are coming that we absolutely love. For example, we love Rebel Streetwear out of the States, as well as Big Girl Season. Absolutely amazing clothing to move your gorgeous curves in.
Yeah.
We would love to see more.
Yeah.
It's great seeing that all these companies saying that they're trying to be more inclusive, but then they stop at a 2X.
And then as well, like for our class personally, like we don't actually have a uniform that people are required to wear. I think our number one thing is bring stuff that you feel comfortable in and stuff that you can move in without it restricting your movement, and good shoes. Because we're not a heels class. I know there's a lot of plus size heels companies out there as well. We don't have that. We're just like, bring your sneakers or something that you feel comfortable moving in, and that's literally our only requirement, because we don't want anybody to walk in feeling like they have to put on like a unitard or like a skin tight thing when they're literally just here to try to start to love on their curves. And that would be, I think, really traumatizing to force somebody into like a super restrictive outfit when they're already, stepping out of their comfort zone as is.
Exactly.
And do you have that a lot of people that come in when they first start that they are way out of their comfort zone and they're really struggling?
100%.
Absolutely.
Like a lot. I want to say like 80% of our students have never taken a dance class before. Like we have a lot of beginners, a lot of women who have always wanted to take a class but have never felt like they could get into a class. And so it's kind of the space where they feel the most comfortable. And yeah, almost all of them have never taken a class before, which is crazy, but awesome.
Now, I know, obviously, I can only, speak for the States as far as, the past couple of years with the pandemic, things got shut down. Did you guys experience that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
I think we got shut down three times here. We're actually waiting. We're waiting for our provincial government to potentially release restrictions tomorrow. We're not sure what's going on just with all the variant stuff, but we have learned to pivot. And actually, that's kind of how we ended up on TikTok, is because we were like, what can we do to still keep this momentum of what we've started going, because we can't teach classes. And then at one point we couldn't even see each other. Like we weren't even allowed in the same room as each other basically last year. No. And so we figured out a way to get virtual classes going and to start putting ourselves more out on social media. And now actually we just hit like 11,000 followers on TikTok yesterday or this morning. And it was just like, okay, so clearly we're doing something right. So we're just learning to pivot and just trying to stay positive and stay in our lane and hope that we can keep dancing in person and see kind of where it goes.
So congratulations on hitting that milestone. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Now, do you think, because I think all of us through the pandemic have had to learn how to make that shift to doing things virtually. I do it every day with meetings and podcast episodes. All of my stuff is virtual. Are you going to continue to offer virtual classes for anybody who is in a different part of Canada or who is in the States that wants to be part of this?
We're actually working on that right now. We're hoping to release that information most likely within this week, that we will be offering virtual classes again.
Yeah.
Oh, see, so y'all, I just found the tea for you. I found the tea. Go to their Facebook.
You get
is that where you're going to release it? Is on Facebook?
It'll be pretty much on all of our social media. So we'll put it on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, because that's actually one of the biggest questions we get on TikTok is, when are you doing virtual classes? How can I take your classes? I don't live anywhere near you. Please tell me, which has been kind of shocking for us. We're not, big on social media. So for us to all of a sudden have hundreds of people asking, hey, I want to take your classes. I'm in the States, I'm in the UK, I'm in Australia. Yeah. We're like, this is a little crazy.
That is awesome, though. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Huge. And definitely, I follow you guys on TikTok and Facebook and all of that. So I am actually going to be keeping an eye out on it because that's something that I would love to be able to try to do. Now, is it? I know that you have the space for all bodies. Do you offer like different levels, like low impact or things like that for like? I'm going to put myself out there. I got those bad knees. On oxygen, obviously.
Yeah.
So, is there something that's like beginner level, like snap?
I love that.
For those of us who, I'm white. I don't got the rhythm like that.
Well, I think first of all, everyone can have the rhythm. Don't worry, you can. We'll teach you. You got this. But we basically, our classes we usually offer at like more of a beginner level, and then as our session kind of goes on, we kind of make it slightly more difficult, so you feel like you're growing a little bit as you go along. But one thing we do is we always offer modifications, and our number one mandate is listen to your body, because we don't know your body like you do. So if you have knee issues, or if you have joint problems, or you're not as flexible, listen to your body and adapt in a way that is best for you, because obviously we want you to enjoy the class. We don't want you to be like, oh my God, I pulled a hammy. Like, no, that is not that is not what we want.
Well, we got old age here too. I mean,
that's, you know what? It's kind of funny because we've had all abilities and ages, and like we even had, I think she must have been in her late 60s. We had a grandmother take our class once.
Wow.
We've had women who needed knee replacements. Yeah, and she rocked it. We've had all sorts of abilities, and I think as long as you're comfortable modifying for your own body and what your abilities are, then you're fine, basically.
I absolutely love that. So I will definitely be keeping an eye out. I highly recommend you guys follow them on Facebook, follow them on TikTok, follow any social media you can so you can get this information, because again, it's definitely something that I'm going to want to sign up for.
Awesome.
Because, I think dance is a great way not only to express yourself, but it's a great workout, and especially if you can do it low impact, if you're not used to exercising, you're not, it's not something you do on a regular basis, start easy.
Mm-hmm.
Do not dive into the deep end immediately, because that's how injuries happen.
Mm-hmm.
But, if I could do that low impact and have that modification, I think that'd be a great thing, because it's great for health. It's not even, a losing weight thing, just keeping your heart healthy, keeping yourself in a healthy position, because you can be big and be healthy.
Absolutely. And we also say that when someone walks into our class, like, this is not a weight loss class. This is not, you're not coming in to this class for dieting or anything. Like, this is a class to love your body and to feel empowered and just enjoy being you.
To find your joy. Yeah.
I absolutely love that. Love, 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 love. Well, ladies, I want to thank you so much for taking time on a Sunday, coming and being on my show. Again, I'm just I feel honored to have met you guys. And I have one final question for both of you.
Okay.
What do you love most about your curvaceous body?
I personally feel like my big booty energy is out of this freaking world. So like, I got a big butt, and I love shaking it. I love moving it. I love grooving it. And I think it honestly harnesses all of my personal power, that I just call it my big booty energy. And that
big
is like
booty energy.
The BBE. The BBE is what I like to call it. And it is like, it's powerful. I'm 5'10", I'm tall, and I feel like that is my hips, my booty, that is where I hold my power. And that is like my favorite part about my body.
Okay, so I have a question for you real quick to tag on to that.
Okay.
I actually have a merch line. I want to make a t-shirt that says harness your big booty energy.
I love that.
Because that's a quote from you. Do I have your consent?
Sure. Yes, you can do that. I need to see when you make it and you do it. I want to see a picture of it. You need to tag us.
I will do that.
Yeah, you need to tag us in it so we can see it.
That's amazing. Can do that.
So good.
I would have to say, just because I used to be a figure skater when I was very young, so I was very tiny sort of thing, and just where I am now, I feel more at home in this body than I ever did when I was younger. I feel powerful. with my curves. And this is my home and I'm loving it. And I want other women to feel at home in their bodies too. You shouldn't feel like you're a stranger. I love that.
I love that. That is beautiful. I absolutely love that. Well, ladies, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
coming
so
on my
much.
show.
Thank you. This has been awesome.
This is
And
fun.
honestly, one of our favorite things about all of this has been connecting with other plus size creators and sharing this space, because I don't feel like it gets shared enough. So thank you so much for even asking us to be on this show and letting us share who we are and what we're about and getting to know you, which has been so awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Of course, of course. Well, you guys, that is it for today. Again, go to the Facebook to the TikTok for FACE, FACE, that is Fierce and Curvy Empire. I will post when I get that t-shirt created. It will be up by the end of today.
Amazing.
So definitely you're going to want to keep an eye out for it. I will tag you lovely ladies in that as well.
Perfect.
And you guys have an amazing day. I'll see
You
y'all
too.
next week.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.